My mother? Bolted, ma'am. My mother left me to my grandmother, and according to the best of my remembrance, my grandmother was the wickedest and worst old woman that ever lived. If I got a little pair of shoes by any chance, she would take 'em off and sell 'em for drink. Why, I have known that grandmother of mine to lie in her bed and drink her 14 glasses of liquor before breakfast. She kept a chandler's shop and kept me in an egg box. That was the cot of my infancy, an old egg box. As soon as I was big enough to run away, of course, I ran away. Then I became a young vagabond, and instead of an old woman knocking me about and starving me, everybody of all ages knocked me about and starved me. They were right. They had no business to do anything else. I was a nuisance, an encumbrance, and a pest. I was a nuisance, an encumbrance, and a pest. I was a nuisance, an encumbrance, and a pest. I was to pull through it, I suppose, Mrs. Gradgrind. Whether I was to do it or not, ma'am, I did it. I pulled through it, though nobody threw me out a rope. Vagabond, errand boy, laborer, porter, clerk, chief manager, small partner, Josiah Bounderby of Coketown. Those are the antecedents and the culmination. Josiah Bounderby of Coketown learnt his letters from the outsides of the shops, Mrs. Gradgrind, and was first able to tell the time upon a dial plate from studying the steeple clock of St. Giles Church, London, under the direction of a drunken cripple who was a convicted thief and incorrigible vagrant. Tell Josiah Bounderby of Coketown of your district schools and your model schools and your training schools and your whole kettle of fish schools, and Josiah Bounderby of Coketown tells you plainly, all right, all correct, he hadn't such advantages. But let us have hard-headed, solid-fisted people. The education that made him won't do for everybody. He knows well. Such and such his education was, however, and you may force him to swallow boiling fat, but you shall never force him to suppress the facts of his life.